Many great travel stories are set in this city. This is the story of three travelers, Emma, Katie, and Arizzona, American college students from the University of Kentucky who are spending the semester living and learning here.
Hi, how are ya?
Got up before the sunrise today, and it's okay, like really pretty and calm in the mornings.
Everything is so diverse, and there's just so much to do.
This is Transformative Travels, exploring London.
Arizzona wakes up in a new city. She's eager to explore and learn while traveling solo. It's so easy to get from London to other fascinating European cities. Meandering along avenues and through piazzas allows Arizzona to appreciate the simple things.
And it's just a great time to be alive, that's for sure.
In Florence, Arizzona visits the Museum of Costume and Fashion and the Palazzina della Meridiana next to the southern wing of the Pitti Palace. Arizzona meets up with a friend in her major, Kimberly, who is spending her spring break with other University of Kentucky merchandising students, learning about retail and fashion in Italy.
What have you loved about Florence so far? Florence is just a beautiful place in general. There's so much to do, so many places. There's so many just streets that you can go down and keep going, and you'll end up either at the river or you'll end up kind of towards the city centers with all the different shopping. It's genuinely just so much going on. Anytime you go anywhere, I would definitely just suggest just to look up, because there's so many different scrolls and different panelings and different colors in the sky and in the windows, and it really is just a beautiful place to be. And there's literally gelato on every street.
That's what I like to hear.
And it's all handmade, and it's just, it's so good.
That was on my list to get, is gelato while I'm here.
Definitely get gelato.
Coffee flavored. If you know me, you know I love coffee. Which is actually a new thing. In high school I hated coffee. Then I went to college and here I am. Here I am eating coffee flavored gelato in Florence.
I am on a study abroad trip, which is about 12 days with my degree area, and we've started in Rome, went to Venice, and then we went to Florence, and then we're going back to Rome, and we have a free day. We're able to go anywhere, and so my group decided that we were going to go to Siena, and so we're actually about to head out and go there.
It's authentic.
Okay, it's authentic, and it genuinely is good food, and it's a good environment. People are so kind and so respectful.
Kimberly's Education Abroad program is led by Dr. Scarlett Wesley, a professor of merchandising at the University of Kentucky.
They get to speak one-on-one with artisans, craftspeople, individuals who are truly gifted and talented in the areas that they do business. And these are people that are extremely passionate about what they do, and that in turn excites the students and makes them passionate about their major and about working in the retailing and fashion industry in the future. These are experiences they could never have access to just as a regular tourist. We want them to also see that the culture influences the fashion in other parts of the world, so that they kind of broaden their horizons and really understand that we're in a global retailing world, a global fashion world.
You know, you really get a lot out of it, just experiencing a new culture, experiencing how they do business here. You know, just seeing different people and getting out of your comfort zone is really important for sure.
So this is Gianfranco Lotti, and he is a designer of women's handbags and accessories. Today we're actually in his boutique. A few days ago, we went to his headquarters in his factory and saw how everything was made, and it was absolutely wonderful. But now we actually are here in the store and we get to see all of the products on display.
It's very cool to see the behind the scenes and how it all works and the pricing. That's what really has gotten to me.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really inspiring, especially for me since I want to be a designer.
I think it is an actual Michelangelo statue. So that's really awesome.
I can definitely say I've gained confidence being here, traveling by myself. I kind of think about being on a college campus, you are required to get yourself to class, get yourself to food, whatever you need or want to do. But here it's a broader spectrum, so I think since coming here, I definitely see myself traveling by myself more, or attempting to.
I have an entire list on my phone of places I want to go. Not just countries, I have certain places in the United States that I really want to go to. And I was just thinking today how cool it would be if I could say that I've seen more countries than I have states.
Oh, yeah.
But also I feel like I should see all the states before I go to other countries. So we'll see how that goes, but just something I was thinking about.
You just do both at the same time. You take advantage of the opportunities as they come along, instead of trying to be more structured with that.
That's true.
As things are presented to you, opportunities come your way, just take advantage of them, and then stop 10 years later and count them up and say, oh, I haven't been to Wisconsin, so let's go there.
So the Tottenham Court Road station, I don't know if this advertisement is still up, but there was an advertisement for some type of travel service. It said no more not yets, and that really hit me because I feel like, especially being here when I have a restricted time being here, that just inspired me because I want to stop saying not yet. I mean, why not just take the opportunity, take the time that you have and just go and do something. I think my mom could definitely use that little quote because I know she wants to go to Australia, she wants to go to a beach that has clear blue water. There's so many things that I hear her talk about that she hasn't done yet. I'm kind of getting emotional, but I want her to see those things, I want her to do those things. So she should stop saying not yet and just do it. My mom always puts other people before she puts herself into things. So I just want her to put herself first for once and do things that she wants to do and not think about somebody else. And hopefully coming here has helped her realize that, especially being here with me. I hope it happened anyway.
I've really liked my experience in Florence, even though I wasn't here very long. I really liked all I got to see and do. I really enjoyed just having a relaxing trip, I think. It wasn't a very long trip, but I feel like I did get to see kind of what Florence is all about. I also really appreciate the fact that it's so easy and you're capable of traveling to a lot of other places while you're studying in London or studying in Europe anywhere, and being able to see a lot of the different European cities I think has been really a cool addition to this trip.
Arizzona returns to London to see how historical apparel, shown at the Museum of Costume and Fashion in Florence, compares to modern looks at a Christian Dior special exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum.
Pretty amazing. It exceeded all my expectations. He did 22 collections, and each collection had about 150 pieces, or 150 looks in each collection. So that's so many things that he did in his short time span running his brand, which I thought was just insane. As a merchandising major, this really spoke to me, especially the textiles part, I think, because looking at the different fabrics that he used or how he wanted to use silk or show feathers or show flowers, the things that he used to put that on a dress or on a look was really, really cool to see.
My wife Ellen's co-director of the Centre College London program, Dr. Mark Rasmussen, is no stranger to the V&A Museum.
The Victoria and Albert Museum was part of a phenomenal period of museum building in London during the Victorian period. So this is not a museum just for fine art. as say the National Gallery is, which is the great painting museum. It's a museum for every art, and it is the most comprehensive museum, I think, in the world. And so thinking about the function of museums allows people to think about the cultures in which they're found. It's much, much more than going in, looking at the objects and having that experience, though that experience is nothing to sneeze at either.
Wanting to reflect on our time in London, Arizzona, Katie, Emma, and I visit the city's highest public garden, Sky Garden, situated 37 floors above London's financial district.
Pretty soon, in a couple of weeks, the sun's going to be setting on your experience here in London. How do you feel about that?
I'm not ready to go home. Like, I am excited just to see like my family and my friends that I miss so much, but I think in reality, like, study abroad goes by so quick. Everybody says that, but you honestly don't realize it until you're here. Like, I feel like I got here last week, but I also feel like I've been here for 12 years. So I think that it's just like, obviously you want to stay as long as you can and like continue having like new experiences in the city that you're still foreign to. But I think that like when it's said and done, like I'm so thankful for my experience and I would be ready for another one.
Another adventure? Yeah. What do you think about that, Emma?
I agree. I'm so surprised at how fast it went. Like planning trips, like it's crazy. Like I'm out of weekends. Like there's no more that I can do. I'm really grateful for the ability to be here and to spend time here, and it's definitely like opened my eyes to travel, and I can't wait to keep traveling in the future and keep seeing new places and experiencing new things.
I'm really sad about leaving, but I know that I have things to look forward to, so that makes it a little bit easier. And I've said before, like I feel like once I am home, I'm gonna wake up and be really upset that I'm not waking up in London because I've been so used to this routine, and like not gonna be able to go to Tate Modern Museum if I want to, not gonna be able to go to Buckingham Palace if I wanted to see it again, like all the museums and that kind of thing. And I feel like at the same time though, I've done a lot, like I've made the most out of my time, which is really important.
Are you ready for your experience in London to come to an end?
It's honestly something I haven't thought about, and I think one reason because I've been busy doing a lot of stuff here, and we still have some personal travel to do. We're still in the middle of class, so I'm planning that. I haven't seen that light at the end of the tunnel yet, right? But it's going to come soon, and I'm not ready to start thinking about it just yet. But when it does, I'm sure I'll be thankful that we had this experience for me personally, and I was able to bring the three of you along, learn about London and learn about yourself and learn about how travel can affect you while we've been here. And then also it's been a great opportunity for my family too, just with the kids. I really appreciate what y'all done with the kids and how you've been so welcoming to the time when they've been around. But it's been a great opportunity for them as well, and hopefully this has a big impact on them and my wife too, our whole family. So, no, but I've enjoyed spending the time here with the three of you and getting to know you a little bit more and sharing this adventure with you. It's been very meaningful for me, and so when I think back on my time in London, it's always going to include memories and moments with you.
In general, the class that we're taking, like Transformative Travels, is so key to our experience here because it's helping us reflect like so much more on being in London and going to all these different places that we've been this past semester. And I think just the impact it has on our mindset and how we're processing things is huge.
Good.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I think about things in such a different way. Even just like posting the pictures each week and deciding like which way that it's impacted me, or like, I don't know, I think about it more as like a big picture instead of like all the small experience.
It's not just traveling now, but traveling throughout the course of your lifetime that I think will have an impact on you. So if you think about what we've talked about and what you're learning in the class, hopefully that sticks with you, so when you travel throughout the rest of your lives, you're thinking about what sort of impact this might have on me in small ways and over the long term. Hopefully you're able to share that if you have a family too, and take your kids to places, do stuff with them. Whatever your situation, always travel, always seek adventure and seek things in different ways, maybe even travel slowly. Do things that you might not do, like take a walk along the riverbank or take a canal boat. don't always stand in line for the busy attractions.
Right. Yeah.
Do some other stuff that might have more meaning to you as you just slow down and think about what that experience is, whatever it is. Looking forward to looking back on the memories and the moments that we shared here, and also thinking about what's going to come next. So some time has passed since we were in London together. What has stuck with you about your experience there?
Through and through, London has provided me with like such good relationships, and that the people make the place wherever you travel. Obviously, London is such a cool city, and it was really awesome to just be super in the scene of like fashion, and everything was like booming, it seemed like, and you're just always going from place to place and seeing all these cool outfits and influencers and new restaurants and stuff like that. But most definitely just the relationships and the memories we made.
My mom got to come to London for a week and we got to explore the city together, which was really awesome. I think the one thing that stuck with me the most was just like my own personal growth, and I think that I got a lot more self-aware of what I want to do in the future and just how I see myself living in the future, and just the fact that if I lived in a different country for 3.5 months, you know, I can do just about anything. That thought, like just an overall idea that I did something that not everybody gets the opportunity to do. I'm very thankful for that, and I can just take that with me.
The biggest thing that has stuck with me is all of the memories and all of like the firsts. Like I got to do so many things for the first time. It was my first time being out of the country and going to so many new places and trying so many new cuisines and just so many amazing things that I don't think I ever would have had the opportunity to try. So all of that has really stuck with me, and kind of like Arizona said, it inspires me to like push myself to try more new things and experience more new exciting things for the first time.
How are you different because of living in London?
I think I am very different from living in London. I notice the differences every day, even just in small ways. As soon as I got back from London, I think the ways that like I grocery shopped in London like affected me when I got back. So instead of doing one big shop at the beginning of the week, I go to the store throughout the week to pick up fresh ingredients like I did in London. So I think just like little ways that my lifestyle adjusted while I was in London have definitely come back with me and affected who I am back in America.
Agree with Emma. I definitely can notice every single day how my life has changed, but more importantly myself. I am so much more driven to have a career out of the country in a place like London than I was before, just because the culture there is so different than the work culture here, in ways that I feel like a lot of Americans live to work, but in Europe I think they work to live, and I think that's super important. Like I am very success driven and career driven, but I prioritize my mental health and my like personal health more than I would my career, and I saw that through and through in London and in Europe all throughout. Another way too is I'm so much more inspired within my career. So going into fashion, it was super cool to be there because everybody dresses to the T if they're going grocery shopping, if they're going to like clothes shopping or anything like that. They wear their best and they like always look their best. Whereas I feel like, especially on a college campus, you don't do that. You wear a big t-shirt and you call it a day. So it has inspired my wardrobe, how I dress other people when they ask me, and things like that.
Travel can open up the world for us, and when we were in London, I think, at least I felt, our world was huge. There was so much out there, endless possibilities, and then very quickly our world kind of shut down on us with the pandemic. How did a semester abroad prepare you for life in a pandemic?
Living in London, I lived by myself, and that was the first time I'd ever lived alone. So I think it like helped me get comfortable with that, which helped prepare me for the pandemic, because although I was living at home with my family, like I did spend a lot of time alone, and I did get used to not being around people who I wanted to be around. Like I think we all did. Like being in London, you were away from people who you really wanted to be around. So I think that helped prepare me for sure.
So I was happy that I had got to go abroad, where a lot of my friends' semesters abroad got cut within 2 weeks of them. They told them they had to come home.
I knew someone in London, and I was like reliving my experience through her because I would like recommend like restaurants and places to go and stuff. And so when she got sent home, I like felt for her. I was like devastated. I was like, this is so sad. Like it would have been terrible if our semester had been cut short.
Katie, what was it like to be back home after you returned from London?
It was most definitely bittersweet. I remember sitting on like the 8-hour flight back and just crying a majority of it. But I was also just so ready those last couple weeks to get back home for sure.
I was really ready to come home because I had just a few weeks before that dealt with the passing of my grandpa, and my whole family got to be together and I didn't get to be there. So I was really excited to be home and see my family and just be around loved ones. And like Katie was saying, when I first got back, it was like Passover a week later, so I got to be with a lot of family to celebrate the holiday. I miss London so much, but I think at that point I was just really ready to come home.
Like both of them, it was a sense like everything was kind of coming to an end, like it was meant to be like this time, we're going home at this time. But obviously being on the plane and making it seem real, like, oh, I'm actually going back to the United States, like it's not going to be where I've been the last 3.5 months, it's going to be really different. I was definitely ready to see my friends, see my boyfriend, my pets, you know, but it was, I don't know, I just always get a sense of like, this is meant to be happening at the time that it's happening. So I think I was very aware of that, and it just felt right to be going home at the time that I did. But looking back now, there's obviously a lot of things I wish I would have taken more advantage of while I was in London, but also I'm really happy that I got all of the experiences that I did.
I love planting a group of travelers in a new environment and watching them grow. If we are open-minded to new perspectives and situations, let our minds wander, push our limits, and find meaning in the destination, our travels can be transformative. Arizzona, Katie, and Emma depart London with an amplified appreciation for other cultures and for their homes and families. They have a new confidence in themselves and an eagerness to better understand the world. They, along with the other American students in London, remind me to be optimistic about our collective future. Increased appreciation, confidence, eagerness, and optimism? Who doesn't want that for their kids? Who doesn't want that for themselves? I hope we inspire you to create your own transformative travels.
What did you think Dr. Swanson takes away from this experience?
The way he has like structured this program for us has been so incredible, and it's really allowed us to do what we want to do with the school aspect in mind, because he wants us to go out and have all these experiences and being able to bring them back to the classroom and discuss them and talk about them.
Having to reflect after a week of travel and looking back at pictures and being like, oh, like I pushed myself outside my comfort zone here. Oh, like I learned this about this culture. Like I think that's been really inspiring. I don't think I would have got to like see those things from that point of view if it wasn't for him like pushing us to do that. I think that also like the fact that there's just 3 of us, I think he gets to watch more closely like how we're affected and just gets to like see a better perspective on our experiences, like more than he would if there was like 30 of us.
Yeah, like I genuinely feel like he's like watching us grow up. Like I don't, it's like really, it's tender.